Today we're going to be discussing a video about why men like playing as girls in video games.
Hey guys, it's me.
I seen this dude like edit like a bunch of other people's videos. He's actually funny as fuck. He's the GOAT. He's an amazing editor. Great sense of humor.
It was always a matter of time before I got rid of that stupid VTuber avatar. I've always hated VTubers anyway.
Damn, Octopus is pretty good looking.
Alright, fine, this isn't actually me. This is Pinoy, my editor. But do you see how it made you feel? Betrayed? Shocked even? I felt that exact same way when I confessed my undying love for a cat girl in Final Fantasy XIV, only for it to be a 43-year-old dude living in Nebraska.
But can I say, I feel like we're past that part of the internet, really, where it's like, or that era of the internet where it's like, oh, watch out, everybody online is secretly a fat man living in his mom's basement. Like, the idea that that's the majority of the internet or people that don't show their face, I feel like that's such nonsense now, especially when it comes to VTubers in general. Everyone assumes VTubers, the people who do VTubers.
What do you mean by that?
People who do VTubers, that's something crazy. The people who are VTubers, they're like, there's like this certain thing that they're all men, or they're all this like certain, you know, stereotype behind it. And it's just like, it's just not true, man. Maybe I'm just naive.
Why do men play as female characters? As an avid girl chooser myself, I've wondered this question.
I feel like it is a very simple answer, at least for me. When I play as a female character in a game, it's usually because of character customization, and it's usually because the character customization options for males are ass. Like, you'll get the worst hairstyles. You won't, like, they won't, when it comes to the clothing options in game, it's always the most boring shit ever, nothing creative. It's like they do the bare minimum when it comes to the male, you know, side of things when it comes to creating characters. But then when it comes to female characters, they have so many fucking options. It's just like, dude, why can't you just do this for the guy options too? It's so annoying.
Do you prefer to play as male or female? Over 2,000 of you answered. The results were not really that surprising considering my type of audience, but over 70% of you said that you picked girls. But not only that, a ton of you wrote paragraph-long answers in the replies that
This boy was essaying, bro. Holy shit. I didn't think it was that deep. I just thought it was because they have better options. Holy shit, this is crazy.
Let's start with the most obvious answer of all. Men just like seeing sexy girls when they grind out thousands of hours of gaming.
I wish that was me.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but that's not really, that's not really why I do it. Like, I guess that's valid. Like, yeah, looking at, you know, a female model when you're playing a game all the time over a male model. But like, I don't really, it doesn't really register like that to me. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't really care that much on that level when it comes to like what I'm attracted to, and like, cause it's like a video game character, you know what I mean? I don't care in that sense. I feel like I'm not really explaining what I mean very well here, man.
It would seem like guys just fit the overall stereotype of objectifying women, but then it falls apart for certain situations. Like, why would a guy pick a female character in an MMO where you start out in the ugliest clothing imaginable? Or why would someone commit to an entire playthrough just to play as a
I also feel like it's not that deep either. It's like sometimes you just want to do something different, because the whole point of video games is like you get to be in this amazing world and do all these things you could never do in real life. So like sometimes it could just be coming from the direction of like, I'm a dude in real life, why not play as a girl? You know, maybe, yes.
Sexualized girl character. This isn't saying that aesthetics of things like character skins.
But yes, there's no denying that there are definitely some people who are down bad and horny for video game characters. I'm not gonna, you know, ignore that crowd. You know, those people definitely exist.
Aren't important to players, but that being the only reason isn't telling the full story. So that would lead us to another possible answer. Girl characters just have way more clothing options.
100%. That's it. For me, that's 100% the answer.
It's no secret that one of the core experiences in gaming is being able to make your character look as cool as possible. And based on the replies to the
and God forbid you want to make a character that's not white, you want to make a black character, your options become even more limited.
That's an afro. Man, what the fuck, this roll bounce ass afro?
Holy shit. Don't even get me started with that.
Typically, male character outfits tend to be big and bulky, and female characters have historically been a bit more revealing in aesthetic.
It's like, I feel like, I don't want to say they're lazy, developers are lazy, but it just feels like they don't put that much effort in when it comes to like the male side of creating your own character. It's just, they just do the bare minimum. It's like, all right, let's go to the girls. What are girls like? Oh, they have all these options. But I guess that also could be like reflection on society itself. And when it comes to men's fashion is expected to be such a limited thing for the most part for your average man. Meanwhile, women can dress almost in just about any direction they want, and it's not looked at as weird. And I'm not saying I want to wear a dress or anything like that, but if a dude wore a dress, it's going to be, people are going to give, they're going to be weird about it because they don't see that type of shit. Like, as a dude, you're expected to dress a specific way, and if you go outside of that, it's like there's something wrong with this guy. He's got something going on, blah blah blah. So maybe that's what it is. It comes from like a deeper area of how we exist as a people. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm thinking too deep into it and I'm just coping. Who fucking knows?
They all had or still have gender-locked clothing. This means that your options for outfits are split from the very moment you start playing.
Yeah, I always thought gender-locked clothing is fucking silly. Like, especially in a video game. Like, if somebody wants to play as a dude and wear a fucking skirt or something in a video game, who cares? Let them wear the fucking skirt. Or, if a girl's playing a girl or whatever and they want to wear a dude's, like, it's really not that big a deal. It's really not, especially like I just said, in real life, that shit is crazy. And in a video game, why not let people express themselves how they want?
But until that line keeps getting blurred, I'd like to quote someone from my comment section. If I'm going to be staring at an ass of a character for the next 100 hours, it should at least be one I like looking at.
I've seen this comment before, and I just I don't understand it. Because when I'm playing a game, I'm not staring at the character's ass. I'm usually I'm too engrossed in the game I'm playing to be sitting there staring at an ass. Maybe it's different for MMOs, but even still, when I see someone play a MMO, it's usually like a tiny fucking person on the screen with a million fucking things going on, a billion effects, and then a toolbar or a hotbar of like all their cooldowns and abilities going on. It's like, how do you have time to sit there and stare at an ass? You know what I mean?
Let's look at a scientific phenomenon known as the Proteus effect. This is a name given to an occurrence when a person's behavior in a virtual world transforms due to the characteristics of their avatar.
Personally, I've never experienced that. I played as male characters and female characters, and I'm usually just myself. I don't go running on the internet like, tee, I'm a girl, give me free shit. But I bet it works. I know it works. I know people have done that, but that's fucking crazy.
A toxic League of Legends player who typically plays more aggressive hypercarries gets to play a support character. This player might subconsciously start embodying more stereotypical feminine traits, like being more cooperative or empathetic with their teammates, because that's how they associate that side of the player base in their brain.
I don't know about this. I think this might be a bit of a reach. I feel like when in context of what he's talking about, I don't play League, but it's any other game with the same situation. I feel like any role you play, you're just playing to fill that role. You know what I'm saying? If you go from playing a jungle or you go to playing support, you're just switching. It's like you can't play support the same way you play jungle and, vice versa. I don't think that necessarily depends on you playing a female or a male. Maybe I'm not understanding or interpreting this correctly.
This doesn't usually mean gameplay, by the way. This is more of a social thing. But this effect is real and has scientific evidence through hundreds of research papers. Some of the students at Nottingham Trent University found that men often associate positive feelings towards women avatars, such as how attractive or aesthetically pleasing they are, making them more likely to choose female characters. Game companies are...
Well, that's just basic human shit, straight dudes like women, vice versa. They're gonna pick the thing they like. So I guess that's just common sense, right?
Know this, which explains why you can always buy sexy outfits with microtransactions. It's not really that shocking when you think about it. I mean, what, you just expect them not to make money? Complain about it all you want, but people are still buying it. But
that's what I'm saying, bro. People, especially when it comes to video game, community, they love complaining about shit being too sexual, blah blah blah, but then it makes a shit ton of money, and you see it in video games all the time. So it's definitely a vocal minority or a bunch of fucking hypocrites saying they don't want this thing in their video game, and then here it is everywhere because they're making so much money off of it. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't fucking know. Somebody's fucking lying.
That's not the only reason. The Proteus effect also explains how men typically gravitate towards playing women in multiplayer games because they expect more positive social outcomes. If I play as a girl in this MMO, not only will I be more aesthetically pleasing, but players are way more willing to help me out and give me lots.
I've heard women say this type of thing where when they play as a female avatar in game, people definitely are more open to showing, if they ask a simple question that they don't understand, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, let me help you, my queen, let me show you how everything's done, my queen. And I saw some women actually say they don't like that shit, so sometimes they will play as male avatars because the experience is so different. Nobody's willing to help, or they don't care as much as a dude. If they assume you're a dude in an MMO or whatever, they're assuming the worst. You know, they're assuming that stereotype that I was talking about earlier is like you're probably just this fat slob, blah blah blah. So no one's really that nice to you, stuff like that.
To back this point up, I found another study from the University College of London who discovered that players who use women avatars with more detailed clothing not only have more social interactions, but more positive social experiences in general. Now, I know this is kind of shocking because the mere thought of having a girl on your team is enough for any average Valorant player to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that's just like those Valorant clips. As soon as a woman talks in the game, and then a dude just going fucking disgusting, wild shit in the voice chat is insane to me. I couldn't imagine doing that type of shit.
Because the only thing women are good for is cooking, cleaning, sucking, and
Personally, I think when a person plays a game, they want to immerse themselves as much as possible. For some people, that's making their character look just like them in real life. And for others, it's being something completely different. Tons of people use games as a form of escapism.
Basically, for me, I think, like I said earlier, I don't think it's that deep. I just like having better options. And if these game companies would give better options when making their video games, I'd more than likely just play a male avatar most of the time. Usually, if they do have options, I will. Like, for example, when I play Cyberpunk, I played both, so that's not even a good example. I played that game so many times. Mass Effect is a better example. I played Mass Effect so many times, and I usually just play as a male character. I played the female one time, but for some reason I always default back to the male character. I don't think it's as deep as people make it out to seem. Some people just want to play as a girl. Some people just like the outfit. Some people just want to do something different from real life. I think people look at it way too hard when it really isn't that. Like I don't know, it's not that deep, for lack of better words.